Hello, this is Kyle with Rocketman Plumbing, and we're going to cover the 5 most common plumbing emergency problems you might run into. We're going to start off with a hot water heater that ain't putting out no hot water. So we have here an old hot water heater. Basically, the biggest thing is your pilot light goes out on your hot water heater. There are several reasons why it could go out. Sometimes even the wind can cause it to go out. Sometimes what's something called a thermocouple goes out on your hot water heater. Well, what you can try and relight it, and you probably also want to call Rocketman Plumbing to come out and find out why it went out to begin with. But this is the procedure of relighting your hot water heater. This here's the gas valve, and you turn this gas valve to pilot. Then you push this button down. That allows gas to go into this pilot tubing down here. And then this type of hot water heater, you take this cover off and you get a long lighter, one of those about 6-inch long lighter, and you stick it into the end of the flame. And you stick your head down there and see if it lights. Once it's lit, you keep this button down for usually it takes about 35-40 seconds. And then you let up on that button and see if the pilot light stays lit. If it does, then you simply turn this to on position and the flame will kick on and start heating your hot water again. When you do this, if no matter how many times you try it, if you let go of that button and the pilot goes out, 99% of the time, this is the thermocouple, and it's a safety device that keeps your hot water heater. If the pilot goes out, that stops the gas from coming in, so it shuts off the gas. And if that's the problem, then you simply need to call a plumber to come out and replace the thermocouple. Easy fix. It can be other things. The gas valve can go bad. Again, you'd need a plumber, depending on the age of your hot water heater, whether or not you want to spend the money to put in a new valve or possibly replace the whole hot water heater. And the plumber who come out to you from Rocketman Plumbing would let you know what your options are. And that's how to relight a hot water heater. Another thing that can go wrong with your house is you can have a mainline water break. You have a big boiling water could be coming up in your yard, or you could have a leak underneath a sink. All of a sudden you see water in your house, not a good thing. What do? Well, the first thing you want to do before this happens is you want to know where your main water shutoff valve is in your house. What you do, sometimes it's underneath the sink, sometimes it's next to the hot water heater, sometimes it's next to your washer and dryer. Some houses don't have one. As long as you know where it is, you shut that off. Call a plumber. If it's hot water that's coming out, there will be a valve on top of your hot water heater. As long as that valve works, you can turn that off, and that will stop the hot water leak, and you will still have cold water. If you do not have a shutoff valve, you can turn the water off at the meter out by the street. The city does not want homeowners to turn the water off there. But if it's an emergency, you have a flood, you need to have one of those meter shutoff keys that you can stick on it, and usually it's just a quarter turn, or sometimes it's a half turn, and that shuts your water off. There's a little tiny dial on it that's spinning like crazy when you have a water leak. When you turn it off, you'll see that little dial stop. That tells you the water's off. If you can't do that, if you can't turn that off, then you have to call the city water authority to have them come out and turn it off. And usually they have a pretty fast response time. Or you want to call a plumbing company like Rocketman Plumbing, and we will get out there like a rocket and get your water off and get the problem fixed. And that's what you do if you have a water leak. If you smell gas, this is a very important possible emergency, possible big problem, and you need to know what to do if you smell gas. If you're smelling gas inside your house, if you smell it in the kitchen, usually about the only thing in your kitchen is your gas stove. You want to pull your stove out, usually just 6 inches to a foot, and there's a gas shutoff valve behind there. Usually you can it's got a red knob, and you give it a quarter turn, and that'll shut the gas off to that. Same thing with your hot water heater, same thing with your furnace, same thing with your dryer. Sometimes they don't have a knob that you can turn off with your hand. Sometimes you need a crescent wrench. And it's always just a quarter turn. You stick it on the little knob, you stick it on, and you give it a quarter turn. That shuts the gas off to that appliance. If you're smelling gas outside, or if you turn off those gas valves and you're still smelling gas, then you need to shut the gas off at the city gas meter, which is probably on the side of your house. That is that valve. That's the gas company's valve. A homeowner and even a plumber are not supposed to shut the gas off at that point. But if it's an emergency, it's important that you know how to do it. And basically, every single one of them have a valve that looks just like this. And what the gas company would do, they'd simply get a crescent wrench, they'd stick it on right here, and they turn it to the point where this hole lines up with that hole. And that shuts off all the gas to your house. Again, if you cannot get the gas off and you cannot get a plumbing company out there immediately, then call the gas company and they will get someone out very soon and they will shut your gas off. Another common emergency problem people have is their sewer line backs up in their house. Toilets don't flush, they might leak underneath. Sewage comes up in a shower, not pretty. What you want to do, if everything in your house is backed up, hopefully you have a set of cleanouts through your sewer line outside your house. They look just like this. What you would want to do is you want to go outside and you want to take this cap off. If the sewage is backed up downhill from this cleanout, then it's going to make a mess right here. Sewage is going to come out this pipe. But it's much better for sewage to come out on the side or front of your house than it is inside your house. So that is the first step to do, is to take this cleanout cap off, then call Rocketman Plumbing, and we will make it our priority to get your sewer line up and running again. Another emergency that anyone can have in a house is you can get carbon monoxide in your house. This is about the most serious problem you can have because this problem can kill you. Ideally, everyone should have a good carbon monoxide detector inside their house, just like a smoke alarm. Sometimes some people even make a smoke alarm / carbon monoxide detector. The best kind are the ones that just simply plug into an outlet. If that alarm goes off, it's very important to shut off all gas appliances going to your house. Don't use your stove. Turn off your hot water heater. Turn off your furnace. Get out of the house and call a plumber to come out and see what's going on and take care of it for you. If you're feeling nauseous, or everyone in the household is feeling nauseous and have a headache, this could definitely be a sign of carbon monoxide. This is something you don't want to mess with. If that's the case, you want to turn off all your appliances to your house, and you want to call a good plumbing company like Rocketman Plumbing. Come out and find out if you do have a carbon monoxide problem in your house or not. Again, this is about the most serious thing you can run into, because you might go to sleep and not wake up, and we don't want that.